What happens when you take another 10 survival knives that claim to be tough enough for serious field use and put them through the kind of punishment they were designed to handle? That's exactly what we're finding out in part 2. This time, we're not judging these knives by how impressive they look on a website or how expensive the steel sounds on paper. We're looking at what actually matters when a knife leaves the display case and enters the wilderness. Edge stability, handle control, toughness, cutting performance, corrosion resistance, construction, and how well the knife handles demanding outdoor work. And here's the problem. Calling a knife unbreakable is easy. Proving that it can survive hard use is something completely different. So we've got 10 more blades entering the competition, but only 3 will earn the title of true survivors. Some will impress us with toughness, some will surprise us with cutting performance, and a few will show exactly where their limits are. We're counting down from number 10 to number 1, and we're going to separate the knives that simply look indestructible from the ones that actually deliver when the pressure is on. Let's get into it. Number 10, Schrade SCHF-52, the big budget brawler. Starting at number 10 is the Schrade SCHF-52, a knife that immediately makes an impression with its large, aggressive design and full tang construction. This is the kind of survival knife that looks like it belongs in a serious wilderness kit before you even pick it up. Its approximately 7-inch blade gives you plenty of reach for larger outdoor tasks, while the substantial construction makes it feel more like a dedicated survival tool than an everyday camp knife. The blade uses 1095 high-carbon steel, which is popular in hard-use knives because it combines good toughness with relatively easy field sharpening. That matters when you're away from a workshop and your sharpening equipment consists of something compact in your backpack. During demanding camp work, the SCHF-52 size becomes both its greatest advantage and its biggest weakness. When you're cutting larger branches or working through tougher material, the extra blade length and mass provide useful leverage. But when the job becomes detailed, carving, feather sticking, food preparation, or precision cuts, the knife starts feeling much larger than necessary. That's the trade-off with oversized survival knives. They can give you confidence when the work gets heavy, but that doesn't automatically make them better at everything. The handle provides a secure grip and gives the user plenty of control during powerful cuts, while the full tang design adds confidence during hard use. However, 1095 carbon steel needs attention in wet environments, so leaving the blade dirty or exposed to moisture for long periods isn't a good idea. That's an important reminder that toughness and corrosion resistance are two different things. The SCHF-52 doesn't fail because it's weak. It lands at number 10 because its size, weight, and handling make it less versatile than several knives higher on this list. It's a capable budget survival knife, but survival isn't always about carrying the biggest blade. Sometimes the smartest tool is the one that gives you enough strength without making every other task harder. The SCHF-52 starts this countdown with plenty of toughness, but it has a lot of competition ahead. Number 9, Buck 119 Special, the classic hunter. At number 9 is the Buck 119 Special, one of the most recognizable fixed blade knives in American outdoor history. Unlike some of the aggressive tactical designs in this competition, the 119 takes a much more traditional approach. Its clip-point blade, polished profile, and iconic handle make it look more like a classic hunting knife than a modern survival tool. But don't confuse traditional styling with weakness. The 119 has been used by generations of hunters and outdoorsmen because its design focuses heavily on efficient cutting. The blade is made from 420HC stainless steel, giving it a useful combination of corrosion resistance, toughness, and easy maintenance. That stainless construction is particularly valuable when you're operating in wet environments where high-carbon steels require more attention. The hollow ground clip point also makes the 119 an excellent slicer, especially for hunting and food preparation. However, that's exactly where this knife's limitations appear in a survival test. The 119 is not designed around the same heavy-duty philosophy as a Becker BK2 or ESEE 6. Its geometry prioritizes cutting efficiency rather than repeated abuse, and treating it like a pry bar or extreme battening tool would completely miss the purpose of the design. That's why it sits at number 9. It's an excellent outdoor knife, but this particular competition is about survival knives being pushed toward their limits. The 119's ergonomic handle provides a comfortable grip, and its overall balance makes it pleasant to carry and use for ordinary camp chores. For hunters, campers, and people who want a classic American fixed blade, it's still a compelling choice. But when the test shifts from controlled cutting to demanding survival work, more purpose-built knives begin to pull ahead. The Buck 119 isn't pretending to be indestructible, and that's actually one of the things I like about it. It knows what it is. It's a traditional cutting tool with excellent heritage and proven usefulness. It just isn't built around the extreme abuse philosophy required to climb higher in this particular ranking. That's why it earns number 9. Number 8, Morakniv Garberg, the Scandinavian survivor. Number 8 goes to the Morakniv Garberg, a knife that brings Scandinavian bushcraft philosophy into a much tougher, full tang package. Morakniv built its reputation around simple knives with excellent cutting geometry, and the Garberg takes that formula and adds the structural strength many serious survival users wanted. With a blade around 4.3 inches long and a full tang construction, the Garberg strikes an interesting balance between compactness and durability. Depending on the version, users can choose stainless steel or carbon steel, giving the knife different strengths depending on the environment. The stainless version is especially attractive for wet climates because it reduces the maintenance burden associated with traditional high-carbon survival blades. Where the Garberg really shines is cutting performance. Its Scandinavian-style grind makes it extremely capable at carving, feather sticks, notching, and general wood processing. It doesn't need a massive blade to be useful because its geometry allows the cutting edge to do the work efficiently. That makes it a very different survival knife from something like the ESEE SCHF-52. Instead of relying on size and weight, the Garberg focuses on control and efficiency. During our harsh use ranking, that becomes a major advantage. However, this isn't an excuse to treat the Garberg like a crowbar. The full tang gives it considerably more confidence than lighter Morakniv designs, but the knife is still optimized for cutting rather than destructive abuse. Its relatively compact blade also means it isn't the ideal choice for large-scale chopping. The handle is comfortable and secure, especially during detailed work, and the overall weight makes the Garberg easy to carry for long periods. That's important because a survival knife isn't useful if it's so heavy that you leave it behind. The Garberg's biggest strength may actually be its balance. It offers enough toughness for demanding camp tasks while remaining an excellent cutting tool. Several independent survival knife roundups have similarly highlighted the Garberg for its full tang design, corrosion resistance, field sharpening, and bushcraft performance. It doesn't make the top 3 here because the competition gets significantly tougher, but it absolutely earns its place as one of the most well-rounded knives in this test. Number 7, Gerber StrongArm, the tactical all-rounder. Coming in at number 7 is the Gerber StrongArm, a knife that has earned a strong reputation by focusing on versatility rather than trying to specialize in just one type of survival task. Its approximately 4.8-inch 420HC stainless steel blade provides a practical middle ground between compact bushcraft knives and oversized survival blades. That size makes the StrongArm useful for a wide range of outdoor jobs, from cutting cordage and preparing food to working with small pieces of wood. One of the first things you notice about this knife is the handle. The rubberized grip provides excellent traction, and that becomes particularly valuable when your hands are wet, cold, or tired. In a serious outdoor situation, handle security isn't a cosmetic feature. It directly affects control. The StrongArm also uses a full tang construction, giving the knife a solid structural foundation. Its coated blade adds another layer of environmental protection, making it a more forgiving choice for users who don't want to constantly worry about surface corrosion. The sheath system is another strong point. Its modular design gives users multiple carry options, which can be surprisingly important when you're moving through dense terrain or carrying a heavily loaded backpack. But the StrongArm has a limitation that prevents it from reaching the top 3. Its 420HC blade steel and geometry are optimized more toward general-purpose reliability than extreme edge retention or specialized bushcraft performance. That's not necessarily a flaw. In fact, stainless steel can be a major advantage when conditions are wet. But if we're asking which knives truly excel when subjected to increasingly demanding survival tasks, some competitors offer more specialized performance. The StrongArm remains a very dependable tool because it doesn't try to be complicated. It's a straightforward fixed blade with a secure handle, useful blade length, corrosion-resistant construction, and a sheath system that makes it practical to carry. Current survival knife reviews continue to rank the StrongArm highly for its versatility and field reliability. It doesn't survive this ranking purely because it looks tough. It survives because the overall package makes sense. At number 7, it's a knife I'd trust for general outdoor use, even if the toughest challenges ahead are going to demand even more. Number 6, Cold Steel SRK, the survival standard. At number 6 is the Cold Steel SRK, a knife that has developed one of the strongest reputations in the survival world for a reason. It is extremely straightforward about what it wants to accomplish. The SRK, or Survival Rescue Knife, is designed around versatility and hard-use capability. Its approximately 6-inch blade gives it significantly more reach than compact knives like the Garberg, while its thick construction provides confidence during demanding outdoor work. Depending on the version, the SRK has been offered in steels such as SK5 and other upgraded materials, allowing users to choose different levels of performance and corrosion resistance. What really separates the SRK is its handle. The Schrade grip is deliberately textured and secure, providing excellent control when conditions become wet, muddy, or cold. That's particularly important during repetitive work, because a knife that constantly shifts in your hand can quickly become tiring and difficult to control. The blade shape is also practical. It has enough belly for useful cutting and enough point strength for general camp tasks without becoming unnecessarily specialized. Compared with many tactical knives, the SRK feels like a tool first. It can help with shelter construction, cordage, food preparation, firewood processing, and a wide range of emergency chores. It isn't perfect, though. The relatively thick blade sacrifices some slicing efficiency, and the larger profile can feel excessive for users who mainly perform light camp work. But when the situation becomes demanding, that extra material can provide useful confidence. That's why the SRK has repeatedly appeared in survival knife comparisons as a strong value hard-use option. The knife doesn't need an exotic steel name to be useful. It needs a practical geometry, secure grip, reliable construction, and enough toughness to handle the work you're likely to encounter. The SRK checks those boxes extremely well. At number 6, it survives because it offers one of the strongest combinations of durability, versatility, and value in this entire lineup. But the knives above it are about to make the competition much harder. Number 5, Becker BK2, the compact heavy-duty knife. Number 5 belongs to the Becker BK2, and this is one of those knives that proves you don't need a huge blade to build a serious survival tool. The BK2 sits in an interesting position between compact bushcraft knives and heavy-duty survival blades. Its roughly 4.375-inch blade gives it enough working length for serious camp tasks, while keeping the overall package manageable. It uses 1095 Crow Van steel, a material known for its toughness and field serviceability, and the full tank construction gives the knife a substantial structural foundation. What makes the BK2 particularly interesting is how much control it provides. Compared with oversized survival knives, the shorter blade is easier to maneuver during detailed work. Carving, notching, feather sticks, food preparation, and controlled cutting all feel more natural. At the same time, the knife has enough backbone to handle tougher camp chores without feeling fragile. This balance is exactly why the BK2 has remained popular among bushcraft and survival enthusiasts. It isn't trying to replace an axe, and it isn't trying to become a machete. Instead, it aims to be the knife you carry when you want one tool that can perform a broad range of tasks reasonably well. The 1095 Crowvan steel does require attention in wet environments, but that's a manageable trade-off for its toughness and easy sharpening. The handle is also designed for practical control rather than unnecessary decoration, and the knife can be customized with different scales depending on the user's preferences. The BK16's biggest limitation is that it doesn't have the raw mass of the BK2, so if your survival plan revolves around heavy battening and larger wood, its bigger sibling makes more sense. But for general survival work, the smaller knife can actually be more efficient because you're not carrying unnecessary weight. That is why the BK16 reaches number 5. It combines toughness with control and gives you enough capability without becoming cumbersome. It may not be the strongest knife in the lineup, but it demonstrates something important. A survival knife doesn't need to be enormous to survive serious work. Sometimes smart proportions are more valuable than brute force. Number 4. Fallkniven F1, the cold weather survivor. At number 4 is the Fallkniven F1, a knife with a reputation built around one of the most demanding environments imaginable: cold weather survival. Developed as a survival knife for Swedish military aviation, the F1 takes a compact approach to reliability. Its blade is around 3.8 inches long, making it considerably smaller than the cold Steel SRK or ESEE 6, but that compact size is part of its design philosophy. In a survival situation, especially one involving freezing temperatures, every piece of equipment needs to justify its weight and space. The F1 does that by combining corrosion-resistant steel, a secure handle, and excellent cutting performance in a relatively compact package. Traditional versions use laminated VG10, providing a useful balance between edge retention, toughness, and corrosion resistance. The convex edge is another major feature. Instead of using a conventional flat or Scandi-style geometry, the convex grind provides a smooth transition behind the cutting edge and is particularly effective for controlled cutting. That makes the F1 useful for wood processing, food preparation, general camp chores, and emergency cutting tasks. The Thermarun handle is also well suited to harsh environments because it maintains grip when conditions become cold or wet. This is where the F1 separates itself from many survival knives. It isn't built around dramatic size or extreme thickness. It's built around reliability under difficult environmental conditions. That doesn't mean it's indestructible. Its compact size limits its usefulness for heavy chopping, and the premium price places it above many competitors. You also wouldn't choose the F1 if your main goal were to batten through huge pieces of hardwood all day. But that's not what this knife is designed to do. Its strength lies in controlled, predictable cutting when the environment itself is already working against you. Current survival knife guides continue to recognize Fallkniven's knives for their cold weather heritage and premium construction. At number 4, the F1 proves that survival performance isn't always about having the thickest blade. Sometimes the better knife is the one that remains comfortable, controllable, and dependable when you're cold, wet, exhausted, and far from help. Number 3, Becker BK2, the brutal workhorse. Now we're entering the top 3, and the Becker BK2 companion earns number 3 because very few knives have such an obvious focus on brute force durability. The BK2 is built around a thick 5.25-inch blade made from 1095 Crowvan steel, and its approximately quarter-inch blade thickness gives it an unmistakable heavy-duty character. This is not a delicate slicing knife. It is designed to take punishment. That extra thickness and mass become extremely useful during demanding camp work, especially when processing wood. The knife can handle substantial battening tasks and provides the kind of confidence that makes users comfortable tackling jobs that would make them hesitate with a thinner blade. Independent survival knife reviews repeatedly describe the BK2 as rugged and reliable while also acknowledging its biggest weakness. It is heavy and not particularly optimized for detailed cutting. That's exactly the trade-off. You are carrying more knife because you're getting more material and more durability. The handle is substantial and secure, while the exposed pommel provides additional utility for striking or scraping tasks. The sheath is equally focused on durability rather than luxury. But the BK2 doesn't score number 3 simply because it's thick. Thickness alone doesn't make a good survival knife. What makes the BK2 special is that the entire design is built around a coherent purpose. The blade, handle, tang, and sheath all support hard use. If you're processing firewood, splitting smaller logs, preparing shelter materials, or performing tasks where a thinner knife would feel vulnerable, the BK2 makes sense. However, if your trip involves long-distance hiking where weight matters, this knife can become overkill. Its thick blade also isn't ideal for precise carving or efficient slicing. That's why it doesn't take the top spot. Survival is about versatility, and a knife that excels at heavy work but feels clumsy during delicate tasks isn't perfect for every situation. Still, when the goal is simply to build one of the most abuse-tolerant fixed blades possible, the BK2 is difficult to ignore. And number 3, it earns its place by doing exactly what it was designed to do. Take hard outdoor work in stride. Number 2, ESEE 6, the field-tested workhorse. And number 2 is the ESEE 6, and this is where durability, practicality, and long-term confidence come together. The ESEE 6 uses a full tang construction and a roughly 6.5-inch 1095 carbon steel blade, giving enough size and strength for demanding survival work without becoming quite as massive as the Becker BK2. ESEE's reputation comes from a simple philosophy: build tools for people who actually spend time teaching and practicing survival skills. That shows in the design. The ESEE 6 isn't overloaded with gimmicks. It has a straightforward blade shape, a comfortable handle, practical sheath options, and a steel that can be sharpened in the field without requiring specialized equipment. 1095 carbon steel is particularly attractive for this kind of knife because it is tough and relatively easy to restore when the edge gets damaged. The obvious downside is corrosion. If you leave a knife wet or dirty for too long, you're going to pay for it. But that's a maintenance issue rather than a fundamental design weakness. What really elevates the ESEE 6 is its balance. It is long enough to handle serious outdoor tasks while still being controllable for cutting and carving. It can process wood, prepare food, cut cordage, assist with shelter construction, and handle general camp work without feeling like a specialized tool. The handle provides strong control, and the full tang construction inspires confidence during heavier work. Another major advantage is ESEE's famous warranty, which gives owners unusual peace of mind. Multiple survival knife guides continue to rank ESEE models among their top choices, particularly for durability and field reliability. The ESEE 6 doesn't claim to be invincible, and that's important. Any knife can be damaged if it's abused beyond its intended purpose. But within realistic survival use, this is one of the most dependable designs you can carry. It doesn't need to be flashy. It just needs to work every time you reach for it. That's why the ESEE 6 comes incredibly close to winning this test. But one knife still manages to beat it. Number 1, ESEE 4, the survivor that gets everything right. Taking number 1 is the ESEE 4, and the reason is simple. It delivers the best overall balance of toughness, control, portability, field maintenance, and practical survival performance in this lineup. The ESEE 4 uses a roughly 4.5-inch 1095 carbon steel blade with full tang construction, giving it a combination of strength and manageable size that is extremely difficult to beat. Unlike oversized knives that can become tiring during detailed work, the ESEE 4 remains compact enough to control precisely. You can use it for carving, feather sticks, food preparation, cordage, shelter work, and wood processing without constantly feeling like you're carrying too much blade. At the same time, its robust construction gives you confidence during tougher jobs. This balance is exactly why multiple survival knife reviews continue to describe the ESEE 4 as an excellent all-around survival option. The 1095 steel is also easy to maintain in the field. If you damage the edge, a basic sharpening system can bring it back, which is far more important in a survival situation than having a steel that sounds impressive but requires specialized equipment. The downside, again, is corrosion. In wet environments, the blade needs proper care. But that's a manageable responsibility for a knife with this level of toughness and versatility. The handle gives excellent control, and the knife's proportions make it feel natural during both powerful and delicate cuts. Then there's the warranty. ESEE's reputation for standing behind its knives adds another layer of confidence, because the company isn't simply selling a blade and walking away. What ultimately makes the ESEE 4 #1 isn't that it is the thickest, longest, or most expensive knife here. It isn't. It's #1 because it doesn't have a major weakness that overwhelms its strengths. The BK2 is tougher for extreme abuse, but heavier. The F1 offers better corrosion resistance, but costs more and is smaller. The ESEE 6 gives you more blade, but adds bulk. The ESEE 4 sits right in the middle, where survival knives often work best. It's tough enough for hard use, compact enough for everyday carry, easy enough to maintain, and versatile enough to handle the majority of tasks you're likely to encounter. That's why, in this Part 2 test, the ESEE 4 takes the top spot. So there you have it. 10 more survival knives enter the competition, but only 3 truly separated themselves from the pack. The biggest lesson from this test is that unbreakable doesn't mean indestructible. Every knife has a purpose, and the best survival blade is the one whose strengths match the work you're actually asking it to do. Some prioritize toughness, some prioritize cutting performance, and others focus on corrosion resistance or portability. If you enjoyed Part 2, let me know which knife you think should have taken #1. And if you missed Part 1, make sure you check that one out too. There are plenty more knives worth putting to the test, so subscribe for the next comparison, because the next batch might be even tougher.